A smooth banana of morning host hosting. Vegan since 2013. Gravelly voiced. Acoustic guitar playing. Drum playing. Bass playing. Wurlitzer piano playing. Coffee drinking. Regular workout doing. If he sold his house, he might be a millionaire. The one and only Adam Josh. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the Morning Banana Show. Number 118. The rumors are true. My name is Adam Josh. Like my bumper music guy said, I'm checking the live streams real quick. Lately, they've been pretty good. Yeah. I gotta say, for years I poo-pooed on Twitter live streams. I gotta adjust one of these cameras. Bear with me one moment. For years I poo-pooed on Twitter's live stream. And the reason I did that was because Twitter's live stream sucked for audio quality. No two ways about it. And then they got their head out of their butts, I guess, is the way to put it. They got better, the Twitter live stream. Because at one point, the audio quality... So, I don't do this, but if you did do this, if you, for instance, wanted to go live stream a concert, you went to a concert and wanted to live stream it, you couldn't do that with the live stream that Twitter was offering. Because it sucked so bad. So what you would do is you'd have the live stream on, and then you'd see the video in pretty decent quality, but the audio would just be totally mangled, totally garbage, and that's because they were compressing the snot out of it, and they also had parameters and like settings on it to settings on the compression to weed out the vocal tracks. They're trying to listen to your voice, obviously. These phones that we have in our pockets are secret spy devices. They're spyware. Trying to listen to our voice. They don't care if we're making music. So this was a problem. And for years, Twitter livestream was like that. Periscope was better, but then Twitter bought Periscope, and then, yeah. Eventually, Twitter, like I said, they've improved their live stream. Probably not least of which because of my complaints. But a lot of people were complaining, probably. But if you're trying to record music, so I'm not trying to live stream somebody else's music. If I was trying to live stream my own music, I couldn't do it. You'd see me playing a guitar, I would be like... It would just be like garbled. But the video would be great. So it was a couple months ago when they switched whatever they were doing to their new audio compression. And I like it a lot better. Morning Banana Show, number 118. On the drive in to work, which is not a very long drive. I thought about what I would talk about today on the Morning Banana Show. It is Friday, March the 4th, 2022. And if you read the mainstream headlines, you know, we're in the middle of a nuclear invasion. Nuclear holocaust in Ukraine. I got a bookmark here specifically for watching the Russians invade Kiev as they run for their lives. Huh. This is Kiev live stream cameras. Other than the other than the menacing air raid siren going on in the back, which is, I've been keeping a tab on these. Anybody can go on YouTube and type in, Ukrainian live streams, and I've been keeping a tab on the live streams, and that, for the most part, when I watch them, not for the most part. Every time I watch them, they're just hanging out peaceful, little old ladies pushing baby carriages, things like that. And this morning is the only time I've ever heard an air raid siren. So, and because there's 9 cameras here, you can't tell which area it's coming from. Oh, there's a fire truck. But that's the Ukraine-Poland border. I don't know. Hard to tell what that is. If it's an air raid siren or a fire truck, because a fire truck just went by the Poland-Ukraine border. Cool to have a camera, though, on the border, because, it's showing people walking across into Poland. I guess fleeing for their lives at a medium pace. Yeah. Well, I don't know what to tell you, folks. A lot of the imagery and media stuff that we've been getting out of the Ukraine has been like blatantly falsified. So what I've been encouraging people to do is just check it out for yourself and don't trust the mainstream media. Call people you know in the Ukraine, ask them to FaceTime you the situation, go on live streams. The problem with the government in Ukraine is that they are corrupt. Zelensky himself is he's an actor. Like literally, with an IMDb page. He played the president. On the way in, I was thinking, what do I want to talk about? And what I thought I would talk about was how, basically how some battles aren't worth fighting. And I guess what I'm admitting is that to a lot of people I would be considered a wussy or a pussy, because I don't think everything is worth dying for. In life, there's going to be times where you have to pick your battles. Or, if you're dating a girl from the 1970s, you might have to pick her paddles. But what I'm saying is you have to pick your paddle, pick your battles. So like people say, this hill, I'm going to die on this hill. This is the hill I'm going to die on. And there are hills that you should die on, like somebody breaks into your house, and is trying to harm your family. That's a hill worth dying on, in my opinion. But in context and keeping in mind, if you die, these are my personal opinions about my personal life. If I die, my kids don't have a dad. Now, the problem with that is my kid's real father, former British military guy, died in a car accident when the youngest Tyler was 1. So they've already had this experience in their life of their dad dying and growing up until they met me without a father. So now I would not want to do that to my kids, and I feel like that would be just tragic if my kids had to lose a dad twice in their lives. So I don't want that for my kids. So although that in the past I've been willing to run like gung-ho into things that I thought were worth dying for, or causes that I thought that might get me in trouble, as you get older, and in my case specifically, there are a lot of things that, I don't want to die for. And I want to be there for my kids as they get older. In Caden's case, the older one, he's 11 now. We're talking about him becoming a teenager soon, so that's freaking crazy. And some of you who have followed me this long have known, when he was a baby. I have, YouTube videos of him and I when he was just like 5 or 6. So to think that he's going to be a teenager soon, I feel like, if I can get him to be in his 20s and get him to that point as an adult, then my job is done. But nowadays 20-year-old kids are still not really adults. Being 40, I look at 30-year-old kids and I'm like, you're just a child. If I knew when I was 30 what I knew now, I would be a multi-billionaire. But personally speaking, I thought, on the way in today, I thought I would just talk my personal thoughts. You guys have listened to me rant and rave over the years about many things. The air raid sirens have stopped. So I might have been wrong. It might not have been an air raid siren. One of these cameras might have been picking up that fire truck. But nevertheless, and needless to say, there is some heavy action, foot traffic at the Poland-Ukraine border. And still fire trucks going back and forth. So, the situation in the Ukraine is a fluid situation. I'm trying not to talk about it, but if you're watching this and you haven't yet, look up Azov, A-Z-O-V. I don't know who watches this Morning Banana Show, but look up and research Azov, A-Z-O-V, and see what they've done in the Donbass region of eastern Ukraine for the last 8 years. And I'm not saying that I'm a Russophile. I'm not saying that I'm carrying any water for the World Economic Forum member Vladimir Putin. I'm not saying that I encourage Russians invading for the millionth time the Ukraine, but it is what it is, and everybody has their reasons for doing things. And when mainstream media is telling you that this aggression was from nothing out of nowhere, just unprovoked, that's not exactly true. So look up Azov and what they were up to in the Donbass region of the Ukraine for the last 8 years, and you would probably feel a way about it too, nevertheless. So, living during another war. The crazy thing is all the, millions of dollars from different countries and lethal aid from Canada. 4 rounds of aid have already left my country going to the Ukraine. And all this aid and money is going to one of the most corrupt governments in the world. I'm not saying it's like giving the Taliban money and aid and weapons, but it reminds me of those videos where the Afghanistani guys, the Taliban guys who don't know how to use an exercise bike are now sitting there with NVGs, night vision goggles, and they got all the more ammunition than they've ever seen in their lives, and they don't even know how to load the guns. Or it reminds me of that. So I joked at the time and said Ramadan has come early for the Taliban. We left them Bradley helicopters, billions and billions of dollars of ammunition. So we're creating war, we're creating enemies, and if you're a war profiteer, you should be happy right now, because I was saying that my personal opinions are that some things are worth dying for and some aren't. I would like my kids to grow up with a father until I die a natural death of Old age as a vegan of 100 at 120 something years old. That's right, folks. I want to live a long life. That's my plan. Some of you may know this, but when I was 16 years old, I tried to end my own life. Very juvenile of me, very immature of me, very well not thought out, but that was how I was, and how I thought at the time that life isn't the way that I want it to be. I'm frustrated. Maybe I'll just kill myself. And then I don't have to deal with any of this nonsense, which I felt I was a victim of, and I felt like an escape. Not like I was ashamed of everything I had done in my life, although like I had made some mistakes at 16, but it was more like I hate my surroundings, and I know that I don't have the means to change them. Whereas now, you know, if you don't like your surroundings as an adult, like, you know, you really don't have many people to blame. You can get on your 2 feet and walk away, or do whatever you want to do to change your situations. Make it better. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about the stupid things I did when I was 16, but here we are. I guess my point is that I have proven that I'm not afraid of death. People know I'm not afraid of death, but I'm not afraid of death. My teenage 16-year-old stupid self was not afraid of death. There's nothing about death that freaks me out. If anything, it's the opposite. It's a sick, mentally ill, mentally divergent problem that I have, that actually I would look forward to death. The thing is, I've learned to have patience, and that it's not something that needs to be rushed. What needs to be savored is this life. That's the way it should be. Like, savor, if you can, this life in the moment. Like a fine goblet of 3,000-year-old wine that you have found, aged to perfection. Every drop, 3,000 years old? Well, by Jove, I don't even know if I should drink it. But then, it's your wine. You have to drink it. It's your cup. So you're like, okay. Oh, the flavors, all the tannins, all the pain that went into that wine. It's so delicious. And 3,000 years, think of the history of the wine. That's your trip. That's your life to drink. And I would advise you to savor it. So in my case, I've been in a holding cell. I've been beaten up by police. I've been arrested a few times in my life. Like I've said before, I'm not a huge criminal or whatever, but truth be told, I don't want to rot away in a cell like Julian Assange, and I don't want to be separated from my family. I don't want to be like, well, I'm just a criminal in jail, or I'm, what do they call that? A prisoner of war, or somebody who's wrongfully incarcerated. You know, I would like to avoid that. I would like to be there with my family, and if that means picking my battles and not being a part of every cause that other people think I should be a part of, then that's what it is. You know, you can say, I'm a pussy. I'm a wussy. I want to be there with my family. And if that's too much to ask in life, then that's just too much to ask, you know? And there's going to come a point, and there may come a point, where this is a decision that Adam has to make. Yeah. So, as a 40-year-old man, when I think through these things that are risky, I think through, when I was 16, I felt like I didn't have anything left to lose, and I felt like life wasn't worth living. As a 40-year-old man, you know, who has responsibilities and is a father to these 2 adopted kids, and not least of all, a boyfriend to a widow who I've been with for 7 years, who has already been through her own version of like loss and grief and whatnot. So I, you know, I guess I'm the perfect guy for the job, because as a Scorpio, I want to organize my life, and I want to be permanent and rooted. But also, as a teenage, pissed off kid who's not afraid of death, I deal with these emotions of like, I have a megaphone, I'm going to use it at City Hall, I'm going to go protest, I'm going to do this. You know, what I'm saying is, as I get older, I feel like I have more left to lose, and I would rather be there for my family than, like I said before, wrongfully or rightfully, whatever, rotting away in a jail cell, in a quarantine camp or whatever. So, what I think is, you know, men go off to war and they die in a war and then they leave their families. I'm either bringing my whole family to the war, or we're not going to war. Now, if you invade my house, there's a difference, you know. The kids are going to have to see dad, you know, fighting to the death or murdering people. That's what it is. I'd rather not. But don't come in my house. We have all the things that will end your life readily available, and I just don't recommend it. Don't recommend breaking into my house. All our kids know that that's the line. So don't come in my house looking for flat screen TVs. We don't even have any. I've been telling people, you know, don't come in my house. You're not going to find anything that you think is valuable. So, you know, I don't keep stashes of gold in my house. I don't have wads of cash under my my pillow. So don't break into my house thinking you're going to find a 20-inch or a... I don't even know, because I don't have a flat screen TV. So, you know, that's, I guess, one of my lines in the sand, is people breaking into my house. I'm willing to die on that hill. Another one is, as you know, I'm not getting the shots. I'm not getting the vaccines. So whatever it is, my kids know that about me. I'm sorry, but this is Dad's line in the sand. I don't care. You're not sticking me with that crap. And I'm glad that I'm on the right side of history, as the recent Pfizer documents have shown. And I was on this side of history since day zero. I didn't get any vaccines. I didn't get any booster shots. 2 years in now. How am I still alive? It's a miracle of science. That's been the Morning Banana Show, everyone. Thank you for following. So far, follow me on Twitter at adamjosh.com. Getting a little bit more intimate with you today, but that's kind of where my head was at. Life is crazy, and I just want to be honest with you guys. You know, I love you. I'm just a regular guy doing the best I can. I do a lot of cool things in my life, and I know how to play instruments and whatnot, but at the end of the day, I'm just a regular guy who wants to live a fulfilling life. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.